ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome. So in last class, we were discussing questions about Sthita Prajna. These questions were asked by Arjuna. He asked four questions. Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha, prabhasheta kim. Next question is how Sthita Prajna reacts. So when there is pain and pleasure, or the dualities, how we respond. Then after that, Kimasita. When his senses are coming in contact with the sense objects, how he reacts for that, how he withdraw his senses from that sense objects. And finally, Sthita Prajna, even if his senses coming in contact with the sense objects, how he reacts for that. That means, like example, sometimes he has to take some food to maintain the body. That means his tongue is coming in contact with the food, which is nothing but the object for the senses. So, in that situation, how he accept that sense object? Niraharasya dehina. विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्ज्यं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते. Even because his senses are completely in control, even he enjoying that, that means accepting that sense object, but there is no abhilasha, there is no point of any kind of desire to enjoy that. Without any kind of desire, just he is accepting those. So this is the way he accepts. Then after that, to reach to the prajna state, it's not so easy thing. So to control the senses like this, he has to have a long journey in that practicing stage, in that endeavoring state. Stolen by the senses towards sense objects. So that is being explained. Yadatopi kaunteya purushasya vipasthitah indriyani pramadhini haranti prasabham mana. Kani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha vasehi yasya indriyani tasya prajna pratishtita. But someone who is able to control his senses fully, not to allowing them to steal the mind and make it those fully fixed, and then such a person's intelligence is really is fixed intelligence. Sthita prajna is, but someone who is not able to control his senses, the practitioner, to reach to Sthita prajna state, if he is not able to control his senses and if he allow those senses to dwell in the sense objects, that means meditating on the sense objects. You are allowing your senses on the sense objects means you are meditating on the sense objects. Then what will happen? Then automatically from this sangha attachment to that sense objects will be arised. From there, one will be getting the desire, kama. From that kama, krodha will come. From krodha, krodhat bhavati sammoha. One will forget what is right and wrong, and from that, krodhat bhavati sammoha, suti vibhramaha. So he is losing the teachings, the good teachings of the Shastra. So he forgot what to do and what not to do. That is covered. That kind of intelligence is lost. And the next step, he is not able to remember the good teachings of the Shastra. Then from that, his focus on that, whatever the endeavor, that means Sthita Pragnatvam. He want to become Sthita Pragna. For that, he has to be having resoluted consciousness, so fixed intelligence. So that is also lost. Then he will fell down from there. So that is the thing we have discussed. So ragadvesha vimuktaistु vishayan indriyaischarana atmavashyaihi vidheyatma prasadhamati gacchati. That means even he is enjoying the sense objects. It's the 14th question, the fourth question. So while enjoying the sense objects, he doesn't have any kind of so enjoying of that. The tendencies are not there. He is accepting sense object, but he doesn't have any kind of so relishing of that sense object. Ragadvesha vimukta istu. That means, like example, Sthita Prajna. Fourth question is what? Even Sthita Prajna dwells in sense objects. What is the his mood actually? What is his consciousness? That was the question actually. At that time, he is completely free from the attraction and aversion. Ragadvesha vimukta Vishayan indriyaischarana. That means even his senses are dwelling on the sense objects because since he is free from the attraction and aversion, so even he accepts that is not going to create any kind of so degradation in his consciousness. No degradation. Atmavasyaihi. Completely his senses are in his control. So vidheyatma prasadham adhigacchati. Such a person will be getting the ultimate happiness. That means Sthita Prajna, even if he accepts sense objects, there is no change in his consciousness. Next, that 65 we have to go through. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasyopajaayate prasanna chetaso hyashu buddhi paryavatishthate. So, prasade sarva dukkhanam हानि अस्य उपजायते प्रसन्नस्य चेतसः आशु बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते सर्वतो भावेन स्वाभीष्टं प्रति स्थिरी भवति इति विषयग्रहणाभावादपि समुचितं विषयग्रहणं तस्य सुखम् इति भावः. So Sthitaprajna, even if he doesn't accept or doesn't get the objects for the senses, is not accepting the objects for the senses, but that is not going to make any difference in his Chetana actually. Samuchita Vishaygrahanam Tasya Sukham iti bhavaha. So that means in his consciousness there is no hesitation. Now I didn't get this and oh, I am hankering. But in the other's case, so what is happening? Hankering will be there for that object. Oh, I didn't get. But this kind of hankering he doesn't have. Completely he is having the control on his mind. Prasanna Chetasaha. That means Chitta Prasadaha Bhaktyeva Gnayam. Taya vina tu na Chitta Prasaditi Pratamaskanda Eva Prapanchitam Kruta Vedanta Shastrasyapi So here one more point we have to understand. I didn't mention or not, I don't know this sloka. That means Stitapragna is able to control his mind fully. He reached, that means he practiced so many jnana techniques to reach that. But here the point is to become successful in that endeavors. That means on the strength of the knowledge. That means in the Upanishads, in the Vedanta, it is clearly said that everything is Brahman and this is Maya and Brahman is Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Even individual is also Brahman. So like that, and that is completely Chenmaya. Like that, so many statements are there in the Vedanta. By hearing those statements and by cultivating that knowledge, he is able to control his mind fully. Even that strength of the knowledge is able to control his mind, that he will become successful when there is a little amount of bhakti is added to that. Otherwise, control the mind. So that little amount of bhakti, whatever he does, that is going to make his heart pleasing. So pleasing of the heart can happen only because of the bhakti. Bhaktiyaiva. Because even Brahmagnanam is not going to please the heart. Naishkarmyapachita bhavarjatam nasobhate gnanamalam niranjanam. Even the niranjanam gnanam, that means Brahmagnanam, that is not going to please the heart. Even Vasudev before, that means even after writing Mahabharata and Vedanta Sutras, and his heart is dwelling in the Brahman, but still his heart is not satisfied. Kruta Vedanta Shastrasyapi Vasasya Aprasanna Chittasya. But when he performed bhakti, then only his heart is pleased. Performed bhakti means whenever he compiled Srimad Bhagavatam, which is full of pure devotional service, then only his heart is pleased. So that means with the bhakti only heart will be pleased. This is the Siddhanta, it's a rule actually. So now in the case of this the prajna also we are seeing prasanna chetasaha. That means his heart is pleased. This pleasing of the heart is because of the bhakti only, not the just the brahmagnanam. This point we have to take it here. Next, नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न च युक्तस्य भावना न च भावयतः शान्तिर् अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्. Now it is said in the reverse way. Ayuktasya avashikruta manasa. If someone is not able to control his mind, atma vishayini, that means buddhir ayuktasya avashikruta manasaha. If mind is not controlled, then buddhir atma vishayini prajna nasti. Then after that, what? His intelligence will not be fixed on Brahman. If mind is running behind the sense objects, it is not controlled, then his intelligence also will follow that. It cannot be fixed on the Brahman. That means intelligence is not fixed on the mind. Brahman means what? He doesn't have now I have to just attain the Brahman. Such a determination. Determination comes from the intelligence actually. That means intelligence fixes the what to do. Intelligence is a decision maker. Intelligence means decision maker. So if mind is controlled, then intelligence can be automatically, yes, with the intelligence only should control the mind. And that mind is not controlled means what? What you should understand. Your intelligence is also not fixed on Brahman. That is also dwelling on the sense objects. Mind is going behind the sense objects, and then intelligence also goes behind that. How to get that and making the plans. That is all functions of the intelligence, making plans and this and that. So that's why there will be no fixed intelligence. That kind of pragna is gone. Nasti ayuktasya tadasha pragna rahitasya bhavana. Then such a person, how he can do the parameshwar dhyana. That means that gnana yogi who is doing the meditation on the Brahman, before that is meditating on the Paramatma. So meditating on the Paramatma is also not possible because to meditate, mind has to be controlled and intelligence also has to be fixed on the Brahman. But those two are not there now. So he cannot meditate on the Parameshwara, Supreme Lord. Then such a person, how he can get the Shanti? Because now his mind is behind the sense objects and his intelligence is functioning for getting those, making the plans for that, making the decisions for that. Then in this material world, there is no happiness. When your mind is going behind the sense objects, is there any happiness? No happiness. Now you might be thinking that by getting this, by getting that, I will be happy. By earning money and having my own house, you may think that you will be happy. And after that, you may think that if I have wife and if I have children, if I have this and if I have that, I will be happy. Nobody will be happy actually. Nothing is there. No happiness. Everything will lead to pain. In this material world, possessing of any object definitely is going to give the agitation actually. This material world is made like that. Materially, any object, any wealth, you might be thinking that. So possessing of these many friends and these many relatives and these many children, then I will be happy. It's a false actually. That is not going to make you peaceful because those are all volatile, flickering, and temporary. And because of this, mind is agitated all the time. Intelligence is always fluctuating actually. It is not fixed actually. Then such a person akruta dhyanasya. That means he is not able to fix his consciousness on his goal and is not able to meditate on Paramatma. Akruta dhyanasya san. So what is the point of having peace? There is no peace. Vishayoparamo nasti. Ashantasya sukham atmanandona. So such a person doesn't have any kind of ceasing of this. Only thing is ceasing of all these material objects. That means completely detaching from all the material objects from A to Z with the alphabets A and to Z. If you by using this whatever the different sense objects names are formed, all those objects you have to leave. You have to get detachment from that. So detachment, neither attachment, naragat, no dvesha. And you should not have any aversion. You should get detachment, but you should not have any aversion also. If you have aversion, that is also going to agitate your mind and then your intelligence will not be fixed. Then you cannot meditate on the Paramatma and Parameshwara. So such a person cannot progress in realizing the Brahman. Even in the case of the devotion also. If one is running behind the sense objects, then such a person is not able to control his mind and he cannot practice sadhana also. So that's why initially this gnana about the soul and about the body. This is very much important for a practitioner. This will make initially helpful to the bhakti. But when one completely surrendered to the Krishna, then in that case, there is no need of any kind of jnana. Simply he is always, since he is fully surrendered to Krishna, he is always performing the devotion. So either that should be happening or otherwise one should be completely detached and doesn't have any attraction, aversion for the any sense objects and simply fixed on his goal, that is Brahman. Then he'll also having the Atmananda or other the peace. Next, Indriyanam hi charatam yanmano vidiyate tadasya harati pragnam vayurnavamivambasi. That means ayuktasya buddhihi, when intelligence is not fixed, then what will happen? Senses will be controlled, then everything is in control. But intelligence is not fixed, then what will happen? Then automatically senses also will not be in control. Ayuktasya buddhihi, that means controlling mind, fixing intelligence, controlling the senses. These three has to be happened. Then one will be peaceful. Mind is not controlled, intelligence is not fixed. Then, so once if you don't control your mind, then mind is running behind the sense objects. Your intelligence also runs behind that. Okay. Then to get those, and automatically senses also will run behind. Then finished game. So that is being explained with the example actually. Indriyanam sosa vishayeshu charatam madhye yan manah ekam indriyam anuvidhiyate pumsam sarvendriya anuvartitaha kriyate tadeva manasah asya prajna buddhi harati. What happens when one mind is not controlled and if it is behind of the any one sense object, one sense, and that sense is behind the sense object, then what will happen? Other sense objects also will run behind that. Sorry, other senses also will run. Like example, your mind is not controlled and your all other senses also will follow that. Let me go and see. Or your hands, legs, your ears. Let me hear what speaks. Let me see. Let me smell. Let me touch. All the senses also will go behind that sense object. Like in the case of the, the boat. Boat is having the cloth. So that wind is blowing. Then what will happen? In the opposite way. You are want to go to another direction, but reverse to that wind is blowing, and that cloth is that boat is hit by this wind and it cannot move the required direction in the same way. In the same way here, this mind, if it is not controlled, then it will go behind the sense object and other senses also will follow. Then he cannot go behind the Brahman, towards the Brahman. Tasmad yasya mahabaho. indriyardebhyah tasya prajna pratishtita. So that's why whoever is going to control his senses also it being controlled and his intelligence is fixed. Indriyardebhyah, then tasya prajna. That means controlling of the mind is the key point actually. Then his mind, his intelligence is also fixed on the Brahman. जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सनिशा पश्यतो मुनेः so स्थित प्रज्ञः. So whoever is controlling his mind and his senses, what will happen? And for him, this whole, that means materialistic people activities are looking like what? Like darkness. Like darkness. Nisha means darkness. Andhera. And people whose mind is not controlled and who are dwelling, whose mind is running behind the sense objects through their senses, they make so many plans. And for them, the state of this the pragna looks like darkness. So that is being said. Atma pravana vishaya pravana cha. Tatra ya atma pravana buddhihi. That means intelligence is channelized towards the soul, atma. Sa sarva. For him, everything the materialistic peoples behind the achieving of those sense objects, they used to make the various plans using their buddhi, intelligence. They make the so many decisions, and that is for these people looks like darkness. Sapanto jana yatha na jananti, and for sa sarva bhutanam nishayam kim kim syaditi. तस्यां स्वपन्तः जनाः यथा न जानन्ति तथैव आत्मप्रवणबुद्धौ प्राप्यमाणां वस्तु सर्वभूतानि न जानन्ति किन्तु तस्यां संयमी प्रज्ञो जागर्ति न स्वपति. So people who are behind the sense objects, whose mind is not controlled, they are in the darkness. That means they don't know what is the meaning of fixing the intelligence similarly, in the reverse case, if someone's intelligence is running behind the sense objects, यस्यां विषयप्रवणायां बुद्धौ भूतानि जागृति तन्निष्ठां विषयसुखशोकमोहादिकं साक्षात् अनुभवति न तु तत्र स्वपति सा मुनेः स्थितप्रज्ञस्य निशा माने तन्निष्ठां किमपि न अनुभवति. And he is this uncontrolled person, he is enjoying those sense objects. Anubhavati, Saksha Anubhavati is enjoying those sense objects. That means he is aware of that. It's an uncontrolled person. Astita Pragna. But Stita Pragna, no, na Anubhavati. Sa Munehe Stita Pragnasya Nisha. That means Even Siddhapragna, but he is not enjoying anything of that. That means for him, the sense enjoyment is like a darkness, object in a darkness, object in dark. Siddhapragna is not able to see that sense enjoyment. But Astita Pragna is seeing that. That means whatever is darkness for the Stita Pragna, that is like visible for the Astita Pragna. Whatever is visible for the Stita Pragna, that is like a darkness. This object in darkness for Astita Pragna. किंतु पश्यतः सांसारिकाणां सुख दुःख प्रदान विषयान् तत्र औदासीन्येनैव अवलोकयतः स्वभोग्यान् विषयानपि यथोचितं निर्लेपम् आददानस्य इत्यर्थः. That means those sense objects which are giving the materialistic pleasure and pain to the astita pragnas, samsaris, that means samsara people who are in the materialistic people. For materialistic people, the sense objects are giving the material pleasure and the pain. So even Chitta Pragna is accepting those sense objects which are giving the materialist completely neutral for that. Neutral for Audasinyena avalokayatah. Audasinya means neutral. He doesn't have any attraction or any aversion. Just this body, in that body he is putting and is running this body. That's all. That's the point. आपूर्यमाणमचलप्रतिष्ठं समुद्रमापः प्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामायं प्रविश्यन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी. विषयग्रहणे शोभा राहित्यमेव निर्लेपता. That means he is not having any kind of attachment. Means what? There is no agitation while even accepting those objects. Like Siddhapragna is also eating the rasagulla. He got that because of his previous prarabdha. So he got that as today's food. He is eating, but there is no agitation in his mind. Kshobha rahityameva. But in the case of samsaris, when they eat, they have attachment. They develop further attachment. They have a lot of other. While eating the rasagulla, he can remember so many other things which are connected to that. And whoever is giving, if it is so tasty, then he will develop love for that person whoever is giving. If it is not giving the taste, then he will develop aversion. The chain, it's like a chain reactions, and so many agitations are there in his mind. But it is not at all there. It is tasty or not tasty, it is whatever. So completely he is not agitated. His mind is not agitated. He is not going any another direction, another way. So that means he is completely stable. Apuryamanam iti yatha varshasvitastata tata nadeya apaha samudram pravishanti. Like water from the rivers. When there is a big rains, rivers are filled and that river water is entering into the ocean. So much water is entering and that's going and filling the ocean. But ocean is always unagitated. Is it going to say that, oh my dear rivers, you already filled me so much. Now I cannot bear you all your water and don't fill me. And is it going to happen that overflowing or anything? Like if you put a water in a glass, at certain point of time, glass will say, no, I don't want more. That means water is flowing out. But in the case of the ocean, even any amount of river water is entering into that, it doesn't have any hesitation. So simply accepts. Similarly, Sthitaprajna, any amount of sense objects are entering into him, he is never hesitated like ocean. And just he doesn't have any kind of attraction or aversion towards that. Just accepting and yeah, going on like that. This is fixed actually. Achala pratishthamana atikrantam maryadam tadvadeva kama vishaya ya yam pravishyanti. It's not that the ocean is, oh, today rivers are not coming, so are any changes in the level of the water in the ocean? There is no change in the level of the water in the ocean. Even if there is not, rivers are not flowing. So if because of the rainy season, rivers are very heavy, and with that heavy water, so, so ocean is going to say, "Oh, you are giving the lot of water, and I cannot hold." So like that, ocean will say, "No, it doesn't. Even if it flows and doesn't flow, nothing is going to make any difference for him." The same way, in the case of Sitapragna, his sense objects may flow into him or may not flow to him, but there is no change at all in his consciousness. He is not feeling lacking of anything, or otherwise, he is not feeling gaining of anything. And any interest for the gaining or any disinterest for the losing, no. He is always in the stable state. यथा अपां प्रवेशे अप्रवेशे वा समुद्रो न कमपि विशेषम् आपाद्यते. Water flow or doesn't flow, it is not going to get any kind of difference. So same way, evameva yah kamanam bhoge abhoge is the pragna. If he is enjoying or he is getting or not getting the sense objects, he shobharayita. He doesn't have any kind of hesitation in his mind, and his intelligence is always fixed on the Brahman. And such a person is actually getting the really santim. That means peace. विहाय कामान् यः सर्वान् पुमांश्चरति निःस्पृहः निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः स शान्तिमधिगच्छति कश्चित्तु कामेषु अविश्वसन् नैव तान् भुङ्क्ते इत्याह विहाय इति. So कामेषु अविश्वसन् नैव तान् भुङ्क्ते. निरहङ्कारो निर्ममो इति देह दैहिकेषु अहंता ममता शून्यः. So विहाय कामान् यह यह कामान् विहाय सर्वान् कामान् विहाय पुमांश्चरति निःस्पृहः निर्ममः निरहङ्कारः सः शान्तिमधिगच्छति. Means who completely left over all the desires and who is not having any kind of Spruha, nispruha. Spruha means desire. All material desires he left out, and he also doesn't have any kind of further desires. Nirmama nirahankara. So he's completely out from the ahankara, and also mamatvam. That means this is mine and I, this kind of concepts he completely left over. And such a person is going to get the shanti. एषा ब्राह्मी स्थितिः पार्थ नैनां प्राप्य विमुह्यति स्थित्वास्यमनन्तकालेऽपि ब्रह्मनिर्वाणमृच्छति. So finally, this kind of consciousness is always fixed on the Brahman. His intelligence is completely fixed on the Brahman and his mind is controlled, and because of that, also senses are being controlled. And such a person is going to get what? Esha Brahmi Sthiti. And so that Sita Prajna, being fully focused on the Brahman, what will happen? He will be getting when his prarabdha is over, that means the amount of time to stay in this body is also based upon the purva prarabdha. And now that prarabdha is finished means now having body is also finished. That date came. So to leave this body, then what will happen? He will leave this body and he will be go and merge Brahma Prapika. And because of that Sthita Prajna consciousness, he will go and merge into the Brahman at the time of the leaving the body. This finished this chapter. Now we are going to see the third chapter. Trityodhyaya. Arjuna Uvacha. जायसी चेत कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे माम नियोजयसि केशवा. After hearing this Sthiतprajna story, that means how Sthiतprajna story came, you all remember actually. When one performed the Nishkama Karma Yoga and after that one purify his heart, then after that he can leave the karma, and then after that he will practice the gnana sadhanas. Then after that he will finally reach to the stage of Sthita Prajna, and after that he will kind of finally go and merge with the Brahma. So this is the story Krishna explained. This is the process explained by Krishna. After hearing this, Arjuna got a doubt. Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhi janardana. Tat kim karmani gore mam jayasi. This chapter, what we are going to discuss actually before chapter Nishkam Karma Yoga is being discussed, is expanded actually. Already he said something in the second chapter that is being once again elaborated in this chapter. And also, if someone wants to conquer the lust and anger, what kind of intelligence one should have, that is also being displayed or said in this sloka, in this chapter. Okay. So now we'll come to the Arjuna's question. What happened to Arjuna after hearing all this? He got suddenly one more doubt actually. Jayasi chet karmanaha te mata buddhir janardana tat kim karmani gore mam niyojesi kesava. Aya Krishna, if bhakti yoga is better than the karma, then why you me engage in karma? पूर्ववाक्येषु ज्ञानयोगात् निष्कामकर्मयोगाच्च निस्त्रैगुण्यप्रापकस्य गुणातीतभक्तियोगश्चोत्कर्षम् आकलय्य तत्रैव सौत्सुक्यम् अभिव्यञ्जयन् स्वधर्मे सङ्ग्रामे प्रवर्तकं भगवन्तं सख्यभावेन उपालभते जायसी श्रेष्ठा बुद्धिर्व्यवसायात्मिका गुणातीत भक्तिरित्यर्थः. घोरे युद्धरूपे कर्मणि नियोजयसि प्रवर्तयसि हे जनार्दन जनान् स्वजनान् स्वाज्ञया पीडयसि. अय्या Janardana, as per your discussion till now, so you initially told till 39th sloka, Jnana Yoga. From 40 to 46, you told about the Bhakti Yoga. And you also said Bhakti Yoga is going to make one to beyond the material modes. And you also said Bhakti Yoga is the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Rekeha Kurunandana. Anantaha Bhusaya Kascha. So in that Bhakti Yoga, so Buddhi is resoluted. And also one is going to become beyond the three modes by the Bhakti Yoga only, not by the Karma and Jnana. You all said this, that means Nishkama Karma Yoga compared to Nishkana Jnana Yoga and Nishkama Karma Yoga. So those are all making one into the mode of goodness. But Bhakti Yoga is going to make one beyond the modes, three modes. Then Bhakti Yoga, according to the Krishna, your opinion, so Bhakti Yoga is better than the Jnana Yoga and Nishkama Karma Yoga also. Then I am also excited to do Bhakti Yoga. That means, what is the Bhakti Yoga here? In the second chapter discussed, Suddha Bhakti. I am also excited to do Suddha Bhakti. That means, what is the meaning? What is the mental state of the doing Suddha Bhakti? Vyavasayatmik Buddhi. That means, leaving all the karma and jnana, and 24 hours, Guru already instructed me to do the Shravanam Kirtanam, and 24 hours doing the Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Swaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasam, Sakyamatmani Vedanam. Like this, all direct devotional activities one is performing. I will leave everything. I don't want my house, and I don't want wife, and I don't want kingdom. And 24 hours I chant Hare Krishna mantra like Haridas Thakur. That is a Suddha Bhakti, yes. So, and that is, you also said, Krishna, that is going to make one to beyond the three modes. And you also recommended that's a pure devotion. You recommended pure devotion, and that is very powerful. What you said? Nehavikramo nashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. So even if you continue that Shuddha Bhakti, that means leaving everything, Sarvadharman Parityajya, leaving everything and doing pure devotion, even little bit also if one does, 24 hours engaging himself in the direct devotional activities. And even if one is middle staff, then it is not going to give any reaction. And that little bit also is going to give a great result. So Krishna, you emphasize so much about the Bhakti. And you spoke about glories of the Bhakti so much nicely. I am also excited by hearing those glories. If this pure devotional service, Suddha Bhakti, is better than the Jnana Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga, why you are engaging me in this fighting of this karma actually? Karma, why you are engaging me? Yes, engaging me, and because of this, my consciousness is also not resoluted. Vyavasayatmik Buddhi, is it possible in that? Karma Yoga is difficult. It's not possible. Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga is not possible. That means in the Nishkam Karma Yoga also, it's not possible. That means Buddhi means Vyavasayatmika Gunadita Bhakti. So, why I have to do this? I will leave everything now. I will go and I will do my japa actually. I will chant your names and I will hear about you. I will join in the completely temple and I will serve you. It's the best, na? That is the best already Krishna told. Ghore Yiddarupe Karmani, this ghastly activity, killing so many people with the arrows. It's a ghastly activity. Why I have to do this? So why you are making me to do this fighting? Oh Janardana, he's saying Janardana means Janan, that means Krishna, you give such instructions by that you create pain to your people, your own people. That is the meaning of Janardana. Janan means Swajanan Swagnaya Pidayasi. Krishna, by your orders, you give pain to your own people. न च तव आज्ञा केनापि अन्यथा कर्तुं शक्यते इत्याह हे केशव ओ ब्रह्म ईशः महादेवः तवापि वयसे वशीकरोषि. And you are giving such orders which are giving the pain, and on top of this, and nobody can violate those orders because you are Keshava. Means Keshava means you are the controller of the Brahmaji and Mahadev, that means Shiva also. And such a person you are. That means even they are also controlled by you. That means what about of people like us? Whatever people like us, all are controlled by you. That means nobody can cross over your orders which are giving the so much pain. So it means, oh Krishna, you are giving order to me. Karmanyeva adhikaraste. So you are giving order to me. You do karma. You have adhikara to do karma only. Like that, you are giving order to me. And but this karma is so costly activity. Fighting, killing of so many people. Why you are giving this order? Karmanyeva adhikara. Adhikara means you have right to do karma only. Karmanyeva. Eva means only. So you are not encouraging me to do pure devotion. For the case of pure devotion, you give just blessing, but you don't say you have adhikara to do pure devotion, go and do pure devotion, leave this fighting job. Like that you didn't say. So you are giving so much pain to me. I am your person, but still you are giving this kind of thing. What is this? Like that, Arjuna is expressing his feelings actually. Then Vyamisrineva Vak. Arjuna is saying these are all because Sakya Bhava. That means Krishna is his friend. Of course, he's Guru now. He's also friend. It doesn't mean that he is not friend. So that's why some kind of closeness is there, being friend. So with that closeness only he's asking, why you are engaging me in this ghastly activity than doing the pure devotional service to you. Next, व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे तदेकं वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्. And once again he's saying, भो वयस्य अर्जुन सत्यं गुणातीता भक्ति सर्वोत्कृष्ट एव किन्तु सा यादृच्छिका मदैकान्तिका महाभक्त कृपैकलब्धात् पुरुषोद्यम साध्य न भवति अतएव निस्त्रैगुण्योपमागुणातीतया मद्भक्त्या त्वं निस्त्रैगुण्यो भूय इत्याशीर्वाद एव दत्तः. स च यदा फलिष्यति तदा तादृश यादृच्छैकान्तिका भक्तकृपया प्राप्तामपि लप्स्यसे साम्प्रतं तु कर्मण्येव अधिकारस्ते इति मयोक्तम्. चेत् सत्यं तर्हि कर्मैव निश्चित्य कथं न भूषे. So Arjuna is asking what? So why you are engaging me in a ghastly activity? Then Krishna can reply. Krishna can reply to that, my dear Arjuna, very good problem. So you are understanding pure devotion is superior than the Nishkama Karma Yoga and also Jnana Yoga. Good, that's true. But that kind of pure devotion is available, or otherwise it is given by the mercy of a great devotee. Pure devotion is not Purushodhyama, cannot be achieved by one's own endeavor. You all also should note it. Purushodhyama sadhya na bhavati. Sarvotkrishta bhakti yoga. That means bhakti is superior to anything else. And that is yadrichika madaikantika. That means pure devotees. Aikantika means pure. So Mahabhakta. That means powerful pure devotees. So powerful, pure devotees, mercy. By that only one can get the pure devotion. And such a person is eligible to leave the karma and do 24 hours direct devotional services. So, Atayva, that's why I also give blessings to you to get such a kind of devotees association and mercy. I give blessings. When my bless, that means that's a nistraigunyo bhava. Only I said. That means I said you to become uh, beyond the modes. That means blessing you also to do pure devotional service. But when you can start that, when you really got the mercy from such a powerful, pure devotees. And because of my blessing, one day definitely that is going to fructify, they're going to be fructified, that will become mature. And because of that blessing, you'll definitely get the mercy of the powerful, great devotees, pure devotees, powerful, pure devotees. And at that time, you can start the pure devotion. So, but you didn't get now their mercy. तादृश यादृच्छिक ऐकांतिक भक्त कृपया प्राप्तमपि लप्स्यते. So, but now you don't have that kind of mercy, and you are not eligible to do the pure devotion now. Sampratam tu karmanyeva adhikarasya, but now you have right to do only karma. So do the karma. Iti mayeva uttam. So I instructed you to do karma only. Okay. That means as a friend, Arjuna asked, hey Krishna, if pure devotion is superior to the Nishkam Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, why you are engaging me in the karma? Like the friendly he asked, and also friendly. So Arjuna, Krishna also replied. So after this, Arjuna has still mind in his mind some question. What is that question? Tarihi karmeva nischitya katam na brushe. Okay, you are asking, you are saying Krishna to do karma only. But even in this, you are not fixing me to the karma, but you are also telling about something else than the karma. That is, Satita Pragnas controls the mind, they don't do anything. And these are also you are telling, still I am confused, Krishna, whether I should do fighting or the otherwise I should become Satita Pragna and I sit and just to focus on Brahman, Parameshwara Dhyana. What should I do? Still I am confused. Okay, pure devotion I am not going to touch, keep it side. But still in this, in the case of the Nishkam Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, so you are not fixing me to do only karma, but you are saying so many other things. So Siddha Prajna and focusing on the Brahman and so on. So what is this? It is also sometimes not doing the karma and I should sit and I should become Siddha Prajna and do that. Meditation on the Parameshwara or I should fight. This is the once again he asked question. Vyamisreneva vakyena buddhi mohayasiva me. So your explanation about the Nishkam Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga is looking like a mixed one actually. It's confused one, confusing one. It's looking like confusing one. You're not saying it's completely confusing. It's looking like a confusing one. Can you explain me clearly whether I should know just to fight or otherwise I should meditate on Brahman? What should I do? Clearly explain. Can you explain this? So tadi ekam. You tell me the one thing. Either doing karma or otherwise leaving karma and practicing jnana sadhanas and meditating on the Brahman. What should I do? What is his question? So, okay, first shloka is clear. The second shloka is this one. Okay, I want to take questions. You may get some questions on this. Let me clarify and then after that move forward. Raise the hands. No hands are raised. That means what? Shall I continue? Speaking.
Please continue.
Okay. Everything is clear. Really expected questions are there in this, but all are very much clear. I think I don't know whether you are busy in the other one. I don't know. Can I continue? I see. The question comes actually. No questions are coming, but it is. Okay, leave it. So Arjuna is saying, hey, Krishna, you are confusing still. Even if I leave that option doing of pure devotional service. So what is that confusion is saying? Visheshta samyaktaya misranam nana vidarthamilidam yatra tena vakyena me buddhim mohesi तथा हि कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते इत्युक्त्वापि सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योग उच्यते बुद्धियुक्तो जाति औभे सुकृते तस्मात् योगाय युज्यस्य योगः कर्मसु कौशलम् इति योगशब्दवाच्यं ज्ञानमपि प्रविशि यदा ते मोहकलिलं नित्यनेन ज्ञानं केवलमपि प्रविशि किञ्चित् तत्रैव शब्देन तद्वाक्यस्य वस्तुतः नास्ति नानार्थमिश्रत्वं नापि कृपालोहो तव मनमोहनेच्छा नापि मम तत्तदर्थान् अविघ्नत्वं किन्तु स्पष्टीकृत्यैव तव कथनम् उचितम् इति भावः. What really made Arjuna to be confused? Those statements are mentioned here by our Vishnu Thakur. First and foremost thing is karmanyeva adhikaraste. No, this is sloka number what? 41. No? Karmanyeva adhikaraste. This is said. Krishna said that clearly you should do karma because you have right to do karma only. Okay, that's clear then. If this much is said that then Arjuna will go and fight. But after that, what he said? Siddhya siddhyoho samo bhutva samam yoga uchyate. While doing this karma, you may get the result, or you may get the success or failure, but you should be equal to both. Then that is a yoga. That is known as yoga. So, like that also you said. You are saying yoga? I should do yoga? Huh? In the first sentence, you said karma to do. Now you are asking me to do yoga. Yeah, what is this yoga? Then after that, what you said? Buddhi yukto jahati ube sukruta duskrute tasmat yogaya yujjasva yoga karmasu kaushalam. Buddhi yukta. That means being fixed in your intelligence. Or that means your intelligence should be fixed on the Brahman. Jahatiha Ubhe Sukruta Dushkrute, and also you ask me to live good and bad and fix my consciousness on Brahman. And you ask me me to fight for the purpose of yoga. That means you are asking me to fight. And also yoga Ijjasva. You are asking me to fight for the purpose of yoga. That means you are saying one more thing, yoga. Yeah, fighting is also there and yoga is also there. What is this? Something is clear, but it's also not clear. I should do karma, that means fighting, or otherwise yoga. And you are asking also, you are asking me to fight for the purpose of yoga. Iti yoga shabdavacham gnanamapi praveshi. Means you are not simply saying just karma. You are also saying the yoga. This is not clear, Krishna. This is not clear. Yada te moha kalilam ityanena gnanam kevalam. And also you said that one should practice only gnana. That means when the heart is purified, then he should leave the karma and he has to do only gnana. So once again, you are also saying to me to leave the karma also there and practice only gnana. It's gnana sadhanas. What is this actually? I'm not getting clarity in your sentences. So they are looking like confusing statements, but actually they are not confusing, but something. Now what I should do? What I should do? Clearly tell me. Kinchit atraiva shabdena tvad vakyasya vastuta nasti nanartha misratvam. Actually, to be frankly speaking, Krishna, your sentences are not really making so much confusion, but you be merciful towards me and to finish. So man mohanecha tava man mohanecha napi mama tat. And definitely I know you are my guru and you don't have any desire to bewilder me. You are compassionate towards me and you are telling what is right for me. That means now you are not playing with me to with this kind of preaching. I know this, but the point is, can you give me clarity? Karma and yoga, you are saying, and after that you are also saying leaving that karma and doing the only gnana. And that means you are telling to do karma for the purpose of yoga. So नापि किन्तु स्पष्टीकृत्य I want only the clarity actually. That's all. So yeah, these statements are not really making me confused, but still I need some clarity. That's why he said, Mohayasiva. Iva means like, looking like bewildering statements. But actually, not bewildering, but they're looking like a bewildering statements. Your explanation about the karma and the yoga. Yoga means here Jnana Yoga. So, but yeah, please, can you explain clearly? Uh, can you do this, please? Tacha satvikam. Kintu spastikrutyeva tava kathanam uchitam iti bhava. That is the intention of the other. Okay, I want clarity actually, clear explanation. I am gudo viprayaha. राजसात् कर्मणः सकाशात् सात्विकं कर्म श्रेष्ठं तस्मादपि ज्ञानं श्रेष्ठं तच्चापि तच्च सात्विकम् एव निर्गुणभक्तिश्च तस्मात् अतिश्रेष्ठैव तत्र सा यदि मयि न सम्भवेत् इति विषये तदा सात्विकं ज्ञानम् एकं मम उपदिश. You can take in another way also. So another, that means you can understand also the deep meaning of this. Tomorrow you will understand that. Thank you very much. This sloka you once again here understand. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. We'll meet tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarupyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta kodi Vaishnava bhakta vrinda ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur